my, there was a moment this year where genuinely I thought, actually last year I dropped the ball. I'm not talking about small drop, not oops, I dropped. I mean, I missed, that when you go, how did I miss that? Secondary school applications were up. Deadline was October last year. In my head, it was January. Mm-hmm. That's how much I missed it. And by the time I realized it, oh my gosh, it was too late. And this is the thing, where I live, if you apply late, gosh, you only have grace. You don't you don't just lose the convenience. You lose your first choice. There's six choices where you get to choose where you go to for secondary school. And this wasn't just admin issue here. We're talking about my son's future. We're talking about his confidence, his daily commute. We're talking about his sense of safety. And for the first time in years, I wasn't on top of it. Yeah. Gosh, look, I I am that mama that I was on, like, when they say school, like anything, I'm on, like I've got it. Applying for schools, this, knowing how the system works, knowing all the different things, the dates, the deadline, the review, the this, that, like I was always the organized one, per se. When I say organized, so I say, oh, my husband can argue with me on that one. But in terms of like knowing what is needed, like car insurance, this one, that one, like I'm on it. So applying for schools, my first one, I visiting the schools. I will visit every school I put in the application with my son. If I can't make it, my husband would, with him, will go, would have a look, things like that. I I'm on it. And then my second one, same thing. We did the same thing, we'll visit and the whole 9 yards, and then did the application, right? And so with my second one, the school that my first one went to, you had to do, and even if you apply, you still have to do that school, you have to have your own exam. And without having that exam, regardless of what the department says, you're not coming to that school, except you do that exam first. And the date of that exam was a day after we're going away for Christmas break. We normally go away for Christmas. And it meant changing the tickets, and it was just triple the monies. And we asked for grace and stuff like that, but they were like, no, ma'am, because we didn't do the exam, or he didn't do the exam, he didn't get a place. So he now had to go somewhere else. And that was kind of like, we did everything we could to make it work, but we had already booked our tickets when the exam dates came out. I was on top of that, like asking, check it. And then with my third one, we moved. So we were able to just find someone at school that was like ideal, local, easy to get to, no hassle, also very committed, like very like in a kind of like stuff we do. No, I'm not making sense, but he got place. And we went to visit a couple of schools to see which one ideal. Again, on top of this thing, while we're visiting the school that my son is, the younger one went with him to go see the thing. And, like as we're visiting, because, we tag along kind of like thing. In hindsight, that was a good thing. Because when the deadline came, like I was always on my thing. Yeah, we'll visit, we'll book, we'll do the exam schedule. Second one didn't happen because I was on it. And we fast forward now to where we are now. Where we are. Building a business while still doing your thing. As we're evolving, right? As we're doing life. Sometimes things happen, like my husband used to work from home. and he would normally be the one who tends to like go and do the school runs, drop off. If they have like a parent meeting or things like that, who'll be when they're having like a presentation or a class thing, then I will go and just be there. But for the majority of the fact, like he would mainly do like that parents' evening or the all those different stuff. When he had to start going out, like not being present per se, when that changed and then my change, and then we have this school system, an app where they would send information. It wasn't working on my phone. I would have to physically go into my emails to see what messages are there. And most of it is just like, yeah, yeah. So it's like, mm, which one's relevant? Because my child is in this class and telling me about all the stuff that doesn't make sense. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like you don't always check. And they normally would like send, I guess everyone's trying to save the planet. So they don't send out all those like letter reminders and all those things anymore. Everything is now on the app. And I just assumed that this time round is in January. I don't know. Ask me. I don't know. I just thought. So I didn't double check or triple check. I just carried on with life and trying to run business, feed the family, do other demands of what four boys would ask of you, and life, work, all those things. With my assumption, it cost me the deadline. I missed it by over 2 months. Yeah. And when I realized that I dropped it, so I, in my head, thought, okay, January, let's do it. So, but now coming January first week, so, oh, okay, now it's time to like start applying, right? Like, let's get the thing. And when we were doing school visits, I didn't even, again, we didn't visit any school. That's how, when that realization dawned on me, like, oh my gosh, how am I gonna tell my husband? And what are we gonna like the flashback of the rules? And I've seen people, friends, colleagues who were denied, were late, or people the choices they want, they never got. And now I have the opportunity to have the joys I want, and I missed the deadline. Oh my gosh. Because there's preference in if you already have a sibling in the school, you get like, it's like a extra point, like booster, like, oh yeah, okay, you get in, right? Kind of like thing. But if you miss the deadline, all those privileges ain't happening. So having all that flashing of like what could be the possibility of, oh my goodness, this is what this is what's gonna happen, or what could happen. And I was there and realized that I have missed this thing by a long mark off. And I'm checking the system and then couldn't really get clear information of like what's the deal. And then I had to phone another parent, or I no, my dad, my dad, my husband. I'm like, okay, let's ask. I was then looking at the hub because I was in such like a panic or like this. I called my husband and said, okay, this is what's going on. I can't find thing, and like asking my son, he doesn't know. Ask my husband, like, what we're trying to get online, see what's the situation. Finally found another parent that we know and asked her, he put on speaker, like, when are we supposed to apply for the stuff? And the lady said, oh, back in October. I didn't know when I screamed, oh my, like I screamed out. She must have heard me. My husband's like, okay, all right. And she just like, you're just gonna apply now, just go sort this thing out. Now it was like a seal, like we're definitely out because now, so the realization of I couldn't fill out this application now. So my husband went in and did what he did, put in the so you have six choices, you put in your first preference and then back up in case you don't get your first choice. Put in a second one so that at least the second one you be considered, and then and if not, they can just send you anywhere else, right? Send you anywhere else. And then we filled out the form. So we called up the the department and asked them, okay, this is what the situation is. He just said, okay, just go to this website and just fill out the form and that's it and blah blah blah. So he did that. And they said just put the choices so that in case the one you like the same spill, right? And now we're looking at this screen. Put your 6 choices in there. And we're looking at each other. I'm like, look, we already we've missed it, right? They would probably send him wherever they feel fit. So let's just put the only one that we know we want. And whatever happens, happens. So we did so. Ah man. And then when we sent it off, we just carried on and was like, well, like that chatter, that inner thing was like trying to bug me and even him and the guilt for hospital was like really that really got him. Like we dropped the ball. And we're talking about a kid who is, I won't say he's more timid than I am. I think it's just I just we just have this tendency of just like, kind of like thing. It's kind of one of those people where you kind of like, are you okay? Like stuff like that. I remember one of the teachers, like the safeguarding people were like asking him like, are you happy at home? Is everything okay? Asking my kid. Because he's one of those kids that just even if they're happy, they're just looking like that. Like it's just there. And the thought of this human changing buses, trying to navigate London trams. I mean, my other kid did it and he grew from it. So when we were trying to console, I was like, look, your brother, the one you kind of like look like, he had to go and change 2 buses, three, sometimes to get to work. It was taking longer, but he did it. So if you have to, you'll be able to do it too. So like trying to like boost his, like trying to get him to feel and understand and all those things. And the guilt of like, I did everything so good for this other 3. And then this one, not so much. Like, it really got us for a while. It affected the weekend. It affected like the flow of how things were. Um, Having this thought of I'm such a bad parenting. Like I mean, we're just doing bad parenting, right? Being a bad parent. That thought of all those chatter, start giving meaning to things that uh, weren't be. But here's the deal: I wasn't irresponsible. I was stretched. And that's different. Like having a job that is not 9 to 5, you have to go source for work. You have to like put in the stuff once you're done to get your money. You have to do certain things and keep looking and then trying to create a business and show up and serve your clients and also keep, trying to grow the thing and get in front of more faces and do all those things and dynamics change and husband, how things were and like all those things that were now showing up for us. So it wasn't just about the school, it was my identity as the mom who like was the organized one, the mom who did like I was like made sure everything happened, like kids, like school, everything, uniforms, supplies, this, that. I was on board with that. I was so organized. I knew where the best deals were, when it was time to get the best deals for uniforms and like the places to go and all those things. That identity hurt me. Like being this mother who was able to handle this thing, like, or like being like a super mama, I can juggle all those things, right? Yeah. But when you're building something new, sometimes something else might get less of you. And somewhat happened in this situation. And the thought and the guilt of that, honestly, it doesn't make you careless that that happened. It just means that our capacity shifted, where the focus was just shifted. And it was now time to look, what has happened has happened. We've missed the deadline. I can't keep haunting myself and beating myself or start giving meaning of how bad I was. It was time to just like let it be. There's nothing I can do. If not, I will start feeling sorry for myself and like, so, oh, I should like, oh, blaming my husband or my kid. Why didn't you listen? Why didn't you do this? Why did like all those things? No. So what I decided to do once he had sent that thing, I like we've calmed down and everything. I just told my husband, you know what, I'm just gonna send him an email. It's like, what's the difference gonna be? They're gonna do what they want to do anyway. I'm like, yeah, but I just wanna, it would help me calm me down that I've sent an email. So I sent an email, own the mistake. Like, look, life lived. Um, I've always been on top of this thing. I've always been on ball. Things shifted. My husband, like, just told them the whole thing, and like, I take fully responsibility. But I just feel like it'd be so great that this school would like told them why we wanted the school. It's like if the buses were out, at least it would be a good 20, 30. Like they can walk to school. It's fine. It's a one straight route. There is no changing, there's nothing. And his capacity, how timid he is, much like I mean, he'll be able to, but it's just he's not that kind of kid that could, if anything happens, like long distance bus ride to like defend himself, like I said my spiel in this email, like owned it and just said, look, whatever you guys decide, I just wanted to let you know the reason why. It was just I had so much on my plate and so much was going on that I just forgot and just asked for grace. Like if there's any way you guys can just let him have his choice, then I'll be crying. I'm like, and then send this email. And I got the standard reply, like, and then the official reply came in and said, we received your email and like the deadlines, blah blah blah. They said a spiel like we just have to wait and see what happens. So we started preparing him to like just let him know, your brother, what happened, and then he had to go to a different school and it was really far and all those things and getting him ready. And and now what we're gonna do is where do you like do you really like want to go to that school? Like, yeah, okay. Helping him to like visualize, like just whenever you feel like, oh, you might not get it, just visualize you being in that school. Visualize you spending hanging out lunchtime with your brother or like hanging out, whatever. Do this. We did a prayer, pray to God, I mean, booking the ancestors, a guide to just support to making this thing happen. He joined in the prayer and then we just kind of like left it. My husband Sue also did. And it was just a case of like doing and just changing whenever that thought of whatever. I was visualizing us celebrating that we've got the place when the email comes in. And like normally you get like a text notification and then you get that email to say go check where you're going. And then so I was visualizing that and then just changing my thought and just kind of like left it. So whenever the thought came, I just like, we've got this, um it is what it is. We've got this. I'll keep saying to myself when that thought came in. So yeah, just carried on. And then we had to wait again. So from January now, another 2 months, right? To now know if we got it or not. And so after like just regulating myself until yesterday happened. Yesterday. And over that time, I was just moving from that panic and we just went into the possibility of things. Because look, we can't control the outcome. We can only control how we're feeling and what we're thinking. Because how we're thinking depends how we feel, and how we feel would decide what we do and what we have and then what we do, right? So we're like controlling that and just regulating him and like stuff like that. So yesterday came, and then when I got back, my son said, "Oh, have we heard about the school?" I'm like, "What do you mean hear school thing? Like it's on the 15th, right?" Nene again, because my husband did it this time, so he would have told you when the thing was. I'm like, it's 15. Why are you like bringing out like we'll kind of like quiet that thing down. So I went and making dinner, like doing my thing, serving, and then my husband called, like, "Boo," called me, "Boo," like, and I'm like, "Yeah, yeah," like I'm responding, right? But he was standing, when you can hear someone like there and you're calling the person, like, so I'm there like, yeah, and then looked at him, and then he looked at me. said, I got email. Now my mind's like, okay, email. Because I wasn't thinking school. What email now? What you get? Like what are you talking about email? Oh, I didn't get this. So he then said, I didn't get a text. And he now clicked. Oh, the school. And oh, school. He got it. The, the guy can't play poker. He was smiling. I got an email. No, he was trying to, it wasn't grinning. It was just like, you can see when someone's trying to like tell you something, but you can just tell it's a good news. If it was me, I would have done this. Boo. Man, got an email. Yeah, from the school. That's how I go like, from the school. Yeah, I got an email. Then I'll go, oh my gosh. Because the face is like, got an email. You can't tell. But he was like, I got an email. I got an What's this? Good. It's good news. Like I even made it dramatic, like the email. I mean, right? Like, got the email. Oh, so I knew. I'm like, he got the place. He got really. And then my son was sitting down there, and he's like, we just went to hug, and then we're doing this three hugging thing. Like, yes, 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 we did it. We got it. We got it. And then like my eyes were like tearing up, and like, and my son, who biggest smile on his face, the grin, like showing all his, what do they call it? All his teeth. Like, there's a phrase, but I can't remember the phrase. Like, showed it. Was like grinning from ear to ear. Like, oh my gosh. He got in with it like, oh, it was like the weirdest thing. It was like we were just sporting. And the dad just said, like, you see, when you put your mind and you like know what you want and you go for it and whatever it is, you just be like, yeah, yes. Oh my gosh. Ah, that hug, the relief of, because I packed it. Like I've encoded myself in worrying about it. I had no issue. It took my husband a while to get to that point of like, we've done our bit. Like I would like a couple of days, I'm like, oh, we're good. So when it all came in, like I was fine. So I was just like, just waiting for the thing, right? So that relief of him having it, and then I'm like, not that I didn't believe the guy. I just said, I want to see it. I want to see the email. I saw the email. Like, yeah, you've been given a place at the school. And then can you send us an email to just confirm that you're accepting the place? I'm like, have you sent the email? It's like, no, I just wanted to like send the damn thing. Like, let's go. Oh, we got the place. Ah, he'll be joining his brother in the same school. Oh my gosh. It was a joyous day for us yesterday, and missing the deadline did not collapse everything. But what a mistake would have cost him would have been huge. But I am grateful that what happened instead, like how things happen, because life would hold you anyway. Life would hold us regardless of whatever the outcome is. Because sometimes when you drop the ball, the grace still catches it. And that's what happened for us. I dropped the ball, but his grace caught it, and we got the place. Whew. Oh gosh. Yeah. So grateful. So thankful. So whatever it is that you're building, whatever it is that you're doing, if you're a parent, if you're doing stuff and other things are happening, if you're being like your profession and you feel like you're going in and this thing is like, give yourself that grace, because what will be would be. Like we're only human. I have this belief that we can have everything we want. It might not be all at the same time. but we can have everything we want, you know, like, and that knowing and that, like, if he didn't get it or whatever, would have adjusted and lived and figured things out, and he would mature and grow, whatever, would walk around it. But getting it, having that grace to catch us and get the school that we wanted is so beautiful. So remember to give that self grace that it happens. We're doing life while we're doing this. We are people just we evolve in real time is what we're doing. So if making one mistake means everything fall apart, you no. But here's the thing. Authority isn't perfection. Having that grace, authority is owning it. When you realize what has happened, own it. Do your best to repair it. Do your best to stay steady and on it. And do not collapse in the guilt of whatever it is that's happened. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be your story. And sometimes it could still work out. Whatever it is can still work out. So let that be. So it wasn't that I wasn't irresponsible. I was just stretched and capacity shifted the way I was doing things, what was happening. I wasn't neglecting. Sometimes when you drop the ball, grace will catch it. Allow that to be your truth too. Because authority never misses. It is how we respond when you do. Because that's the thing. Like if I can control what it means for me. I can't control the outcome, but controlling what that means, like how I would carry on living my life, then allowing it to consume my thoughts until that thing happened, I had that control. Whatever outcome came from this, it is what it is, but I can control me, you know? So life doesn't punish every mistake we make. It can give us that grace to do the thing that we want to do. Because we can evolve this as we just carry on in what we're doing and having that understanding and knowing. Because we're not building perfect lives here. We're living real lives in real time. So we can't have like a showroom kind of life. We're doing this and we're building with resilient ones. We're doing that as we know fit. And sometimes evolving might look like we're missing deadlines, might look like we're owning it, we're regulating ourselves, we're watching life as it is, and will still meet us where we are. I am Nene, and we do this every single day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye for now.